this demo is about using OSS and BSS data to identify a group of users with high propensity to buy a new product or a new service. We're using advanced machine learning to perform this. So we're doing this in two steps. In the first step, we have the OSS data. This data contains information about service usage. So we apply unsupervised learning method on this data to identify, to understand the different group of users in this population. So as you can see in this picture, it's we applied this algorithm and then we found a certain number of user groups. This group is created, is identified dynamically by the algorithm. And from this group, we try to understand the subcategory. This is the picture we have on the right here. It displays the service usage behavior. For each group, we look at the top application that is used in this group, group them together. Messaging is one group. Video service is another group. Voice is another group. Application that implies some money transaction is another group. So, and then based on the top application, we name the groups. As you can see here, we have business only user, business power user, data less user, news consumer, shoppers, etc. Then when we can select one particular group here, and then on the bottom of the screen here, we see the main characteristic of this group, where they are located on in the geographical map. We also see what quality of experience the user in this group have today. This is what we call SLI, Service Level Index. And the beauty of this method of applying unsupervised learning method and this data is that we don't know the user group in advance. The system tells us what is the different groups at the moment and what are the characteristics of these different groups. In the next step, we augment the OSS data with BSS data. BSS data contains information about recharge behavior, how much they charge the account, and how frequently they charge. We're using here prepaid users. So, and then we continue in this part, we continue the exploration of a single cluster to understand the main characteristic of user in this cluster. Our hypothesis here, at the end, we want to identify the group of users with high propensity to buy a specific product. One thing we put as hypothesis is we want to have a look at the parameter like balance before recharge. So how much the user has left in his account when they recharge, and also the data depletion rate, how much they consume, how fast they consume their bundle. One typical example is if a user has a tendency to charge more and to consume less, it points out it means that this user is not using the service in an optimal way. There is something we can do about it. This is what the data is telling us about this user behavior. And then the intention of this process is to find what type of service we can provide, we can propose to this user. In this screen, in this design, we give the possibility to the admin to train the parameters and to set a threshold on the balance before recharge, on the data consumption, and the recharge frequency, where they will detect that the user have a high propensity to buy. So you see, when I change this parameter, you realize that the graph on the top is affect the graph on the top. We have on the right on this graph, we have the group of users with high propensity to buy. So we have defined here, what I'm showing here, we have defined a method, a propensity to buy, a method that depends on the combination of these parameters. And based on this propensity to buy, we identified a group of users on top here that have a high propensity to buy a specific product. After these two steps, we go back to the user behavior. We see what service the user are consuming today, comparing this with the service of the whole population with a better quality experience. And using this analysis to suggest, to propose a new service based user. As an example, a user in the entertainment user group, if we detect that this user doesn't have the right device or the right plan to have a better experience with the service, the system, the machine learning will indicate this to us. And then we will suggest to this user a new phone model, or a new plan that will help them to have a better experience with the service. So, yeah, this is basically what we showed in this demo. So we resume. We are applying machine learning to detect a group of users with high propensity to buy a service. We're also using DSS data to detect we're applying DSS data to calculate the propensity score of the user, and using this propensity score to divide the user into three classes: the high, the low, and the high. The high, the medium, and the low. And we take the high class and propose a new based on the analysis of the service users I have shown before. This is what this demo is